Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a little bit spooky, and today we're digging in the makeup archives. I decided to pull out all those products that I used to love playing with. They were my favorite things, and I've held on to them for all these years. They've been on a bookshelf next to me because they have like kind of a sentimental value or just something like that. They were things I thoroughly enjoyed putting on my face and playing with. So today we not only revisit some of these older products, and see how I feel about them quite a few years later, rediscovering some old favorites, some things I might want to repurchase, and just having a good time. Also kind of revisiting my older makeup style of being a little more experimental, a little bit more wild with the makeup, a little off the beaten path. So I thought we would have fun creating something a little bit inspired, just letting the colors and the palette take me where they want to go, creating something fun, literally just sitting here painting, and yeah, playing with some products that I thoroughly missed, thoroughly enjoyed, and yeah, we got a few surprises on the way. So if that interests you, go ahead and keep on watching. Before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe, and let me know down below some products that you miss playing with, that you loved, that are discontinued. You've had to declutter them, they've gone off, whatever, they're limited edition, can't get your hands on anymore, that kind of thing. Let me know down below if you have any of those items that you miss and love and just thought were the bee's knees. Let me know in the comments. And without further ado, let's get into this kind of experimental, maybe Christmassy vibe makeup. We're dark Christmas, a little dark aesthetic, Christmas spookiness. Whatever. Anyway, let's just get into the video. So the other day, I did a whole video going through some stuff I was decluttering and then giving a few things a second chance and using them and seeing how they performed, if I could find a use for them in my makeup routine somewhere. Because they were good products, I didn't want to just throw them away or whatever, but they just didn't work in the way that I wanted them to work. So it's kind of just seeing if I could make them work in some other way. Yeah, that was actually a pretty successful little endeavor. I actually found some ways to repurpose some product. But that video inspired me to kind of dig in my makeup archives, as I call them, because I was talking about the Shade Light Contour Palette. This was one of the things that we were given basically a goodbye use to, just a farewell use, because it's super old and pretty well loved. So I was just kind of using it for that last time before it goes into the archives, as I call it, because it's kind of a sentimental product. Anyway, I have a whole shelf of what I kind of think of as my archives. They're just more sentimental makeup items. So yeah, I kind of dug through that and some stuff that was in my cabinets behind me that are old and should either go to the archive or be decluttered. So that kind of inspired today's video, and yeah. So to pull for today's little digging in the archives full face situation is the Tarte Pro Glow palette. Gosh, I love this one so much. And I mean, okay, it's pretty beat up and well loved. I'm pretty sure this cream is basically dried out, but the powders in it should be fine. So I figured we can get our highlight from here for today's look. Pulled also the Tarteist Contour Palette. Oh, I loved this one. Again, well loved. So I figured we can use this for our face contour bronze blush step. And for the eyes, I pulled the Saints and Sinners palette from KVD Beauty because, oh, this palette I loved so much when it came out, and I was just sitting here swatching it. They still swatch so beautifully. So I thought we could make a little look with some of the shades in here. Let me show you the inside. It opens like that. I mean, oh, so I thought maybe we could do something maybe with this green up here and maybe some of these red tones. I don't know, do some kind of holiday vibe-ish and just have some fun, because look at these shades. This was such a good palette. Ooh, one of the best holiday releases ever, in my opinion, as far as palettes go. And it's just beautiful. To me, this is like what I'm keeping on my shelf because it's just pretty to look at. I mean, how pretty. I love it. And it was just one of those palettes that was very, oof, so good. So yeah, we have that for the eyes pulled. I pulled out the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour wear, fresh wear, because I haven't used this in forever. And this one is not quite expired, but it is about to be. So I figured we can get one last use out of this before it's time for it to go. Because even though it looks full, there's really not much in there. It's just because I've been moving it around. It's almost used up. Another product that's almost used up that I just want to revisit and use one more time for a declutter. That is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. Figure we can give it a little go. And I pulled a couple of lip products from Wet n Wild. These are metallic. This is from their Liquid Catsuit line. And these two were just so pretty to me. And yeah, I figured we could use one of these for the look. I'm probably leaning towards the red one. So yeah, I figure use one of those on the lips. And that can be kind of a full face of revisiting product I haven't touched in a million years. Like, I really can't remember the last time I used any of these. I mean, they are very old at this point. So yeah, that'll be fun to revisit. I thought I might make this kind of a series and just go through some of those old products that were like my absolute #1 favorite things that just got dated. And you know how it goes in the makeup world. Things move and change, and and we're on to the next new thing in no time. So yeah, anyway, let's go ahead and get started. I'm just going to prime my eyes really quickly. Brows are already done with my usual brow products. I'll have that listed and linked below. But I'm just going to go ahead and prime my eyes very quickly with a bit of this camo concealer. My goodness, I haven't used this in a long time, and it's fairly close to empty, so I figure we could finish it off today and get a last good use out of it, and it can go into the declutter bin. So I'm just going to put a little bit on the back of my hand, prime my eyes. Alright, now we got some of that veininess taken down. I'm just going to dust a little bit of translucent powder over top. I also pulled out translucent powder, I forgot to mention. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills loose setting powder, and I have it in the translucent shade. I'm just going to dust a little bit of that across the lid. I'm probably going to keep this powder because I like it. It's definitely got a lot of life left in it. And it's actually not that old in my collection. I just haven't used it on camera, I think, in a really long time. And it's been in the drawer. But yeah, I thought this would be kind of a fun series, just revisiting those older palettes and stuff that used to just like define my makeup. You know, those ones that were just... and all those products that I was obsessed with when I first really got into makeup like this and creating content. I think this was one of the newer items then, the Tarte stuff. And it just gives me the warm and fuzzies to revisit them. I thought just could be fun. And I have a whole stack of stuff that I can do videos like this with. Alright, let's start with a E25 from Sigma. And I'm going to take the shade Amen cream color. I guess I can just pick it up and show you what I'm doing. This one right here. I'm going to use that on the brow bone. Yeah, the amount of tutorials on my blog that I created with this palette. Because yeah, I did blogs before I did YouTube. I still have it. I don't know. Don't have the patience to sit down and type out blog posts anymore. Alright, and now we can take some of the shade. I think I'm going to take Martyr, which is this kind of mustardy brown right here, with the 25. Gosh, they still perform like new. Look at that. These shadows are still like buttery, soft, smooth, and I was shocked when I swatched them how well they've held up. I mean, look at that. Look at that pigmentation. Girl. This was like some of the best things that KVD Beauty did at the time was eyeshadow palettes. They were all so inspired and inspiring. It was definitely the collector of their products. And now they are incredibly boring. And I don't know what's keeping them afloat anymore. Just, I guess, the Good Apple foundation. They're still riding that high. Alright, I'm going to take some of the shade Devil, which is the orange next door. Right here. Put a little bit of that right out here. I figure we can have fun with it today and just get a little wild. These were inspiring palettes. Like, I look at this and I still see all the million combinations and fun looks I could create. It's a palette that I didn't get tired of. I just took a big, clean, fluffy brush, coming around. Now I'm going to take some of the deeper brown that's right there next door called Revelation. It's got glitters in it, but they don't really do anything. Took that a little bit deeper in. But yeah, around this time all these products were coming out was like a golden era to me in the beauty community. And it's so weird thinking back how long ago that was. It feels like last year. It only feels like a couple of years, but it's been like a lifetime ago, really, when you think about it. My gosh, so much has changed and happened. I took just a touch more of that orange devil. A bit right here. Might as well go big. I think the last thing I bought from KVD or KVD Beauty, either or, was the Lolita palette. I think that might have been the last one. Now I'm going to take the green called Immaculate. It's just the most beautiful metallic olive green up here. I'm going to take that and put that on the lid. Leave the inner bit blank. And we do that on an E27 from Sigma. And look at how pretty this color still is. I'm going to little brush off and smooth these edges. Let everything flow together. You know how I feel about green eyeshadow. Just pretty serious business when it comes to the green eyeshadow. I'm going to take some of the shade called Chalice now. Which is this one right here. And we're going to put that on the inner part. And let that kind of merge over into the green. Alright, I'm going to dip back into my orangey shade Devil. Lost a little bit of that out here. I also think it's kind of fun revisiting a holiday palette at this time of year as well. Like this, it came out like in November of maybe 2015, 2016, maybe? It might have been 2017. I don't know. I'm going to make sure that green is looking nice and vibrant. I love the purple next door to this too. Oh, so pretty. One of my favorite purple looks was with this palette. So many of my favorite looks were with this palette. Oh, I mean, it was a very inspiring one when I got my hands on it. All right, I'm going to do some of the shade Sabbath, which is just matte black, as a liner situation. Across the upper lash line. And I'm just going to let that flow and get kind of smoky and blend into the green out there in the outer corner. Yeah, what do you think is keeping this brand afloat, KVD? Because I see their stuff on clearance like constantly at Sephora. I think they're trying to clear out old stock, but they're just not bringing out anything that's exciting to me. They're like, oh, I gotta have that. Cool, cool, cool. I'm gonna build up a little more black. Take that flat brush, just really darken that up. Alright, on the innermost part, I am going to take this shade up here at the top called Absolution. Absolution. I'm just sing it like Peter Steele. It's this one right here. It's like, it looks white, but it's got like a gold, super gold reflect in it. Alright, I'm going to use a Q-tip, clamp this full out with a little bit of face primer from e.l.f. Just use a little putty primer to tidy up the outer corner and whatever I have on my face. These palettes did have a lot of fallout. And I wasn't being particularly careful either. Yeah, okay, now we're going to move on to the face and then we'll tackle the lower lash line. And yeah, so for face, we're going to take the L'Oreal Fresh Wear. This is the shade 400, I do believe. Pump this, and I'm going to grab a foundation brush. And let's see how she does. This shade is too light for me. This used to be my shade, but then when I started taking thyroid medicine, I got less pale. I don't know what happened there. But I've noticed a change in my skin tone. I'm not as ghostly pale as I used to be. Well, I'm still pale, but just not quite as much. I stand by this as one of the best foundations though at the drugstore. It really does look pretty on the skin. And wear really well. I decluttered one of these that was expired that I had had longer. So I had repurchased it at one point because the other one was close to being used up, but I definitely bought a lighter shade. Whoopsie. We'll just blend really well and make this work. Yeah, that's still a solid foundation. Still a good one. At one point, this was like my end-all be-all of foundations. I thought this was like top tier. It's still pretty nice. Very buildable, adjustable coverage. All the things. And we'll do a little bit of concealer. And that will be the e.l.f. Camo Concealer in the hydrating formula. Almost empty. And again, probably too light for me at this point in time. At first I thought, oh, maybe my foundations are looking too light for me because of I might got some color or something in the summer. But no, I just think I have more color than I used to. I wonder if that is a thing. I'm gonna have to look that up. I think I read that somewhere. That is still a very pretty concealer. Definitely one I would still recommend from the drugstore. We're just spoiled for choice these days. There's so many good ones. Yeah, that still looks really pretty. It's just time to let them go. They're old. So I'm gonna put them in my declutter bag. Okay, let's set the under eyes. And we're gonna use the ABH loose setting powder. I mean, look how much, this is a honker. This is a big old container. There's a lot of powder in here. And it's a nice powder. It's just kind of a solid go-to type of powder. Like, it does what you need it to do. I think I actually got this at Marshall's or somewhere. So I don't even know if they make this anymore. This one, I don't buy a lot of makeup like at Marshall's or anything, or TJ Maxx, whatever. Because they're usually discontinued, and unless it's just something I really want, like the collector in me wants. Like most times, I don't want to buy a product discontinued because where are you gonna get it if I talk about it and I feel bad? That looks so smooth on the under eye. Oof. Yeah, this powder's staying out because I've got a ton left and it's not that old. And, you know, it's something we could definitely get some use out of. There's no point throwing it away. It's still good and it's just me using it. Who cares? You know, it's not that big a deal. It's not like I'm using it on someone else. Yeah, this complexion looks really nice. That was a great pairing, complexion pairing. Wow, that looks great. Okay, lower lash line. We're gonna get a little spicy with. I'm gonna take the shade called Stigmata. I wonder what Kat Von D feels about this palette now that she's fully Christian. She's baptized Christian. I wonder how she feels about this palette because I think it probably can feel a little bit blasphemous, you know. But the art style I think is so beautiful. Yeah, so we're gonna take Stigmata, which is this metallic red down here. I'm gonna take it on a flat brush with the product focused on one side of the brush. Tap off the excess. Dark Christmas aesthetic, which I'm actually gonna be doing a dark Christmas aesthetic video because I am inspired by that little trend. I saw it on Instagram and I was like, oh. As for me, I like mixing spooky and Christmas and like just kind of a darker vibe. I mean, I incorporate pumpkins with my tree. Now I'm going to take the shade Sacred Heart, which is this beautiful, kind of a little bit more peachy one right here. And focus it towards the inner corner. And blend over. Oops. I blended that down way too far. Well, what do you know? Googled it. Hypothyroidism does make you pale. No wonder all my older foundations are too light for me now. So, good thing I'm decluttering them. I'm kind of going through them. Because, yeah, none of my older ones match me. And notice I've been able to, like, go up in shade. I just thought maybe it's because, like, shade room's got more expanded or something. I don't know. Or I thought I just had some color from the summer. Nope. That's what it is. I do have more color than I used to. So I used to be way paler, apparently, because this used to match me. I mean, it kind of still matches my neck a little bit, but clearly very pale. More so than what should be on my face. So we'll try to warm it up and make it work, because we can do that. It's fine. That's why those are getting decluttered, apparently. Clearly. Okay, where were we? We're putting Sacred Heart on the inner corner. My curiosity had gotten the best of me. Had to find out. Bring a little bit more stigmata. Keep that nice and intense. We're going all in. So we're just revisiting makeup styles of the past too for me. And being like over the top with the eyes. So I used to just go all in. Which is kind of fun. Kind of fun. Alright, now I'm going to take the shade called Rapture, which is this one right here. It's kind of always reflecty type shades. Those were a different formula than the rest. Kind of like their highlighter formula they had. It was very bitty and flaky and mainly not their best. They like need a glitter glue really. But anyway, we'll take some of that right here. A little bit of glow from it. And pull in a bit more of that golden white shade we used on the top. And just kind of merge those together. Now deepen stuff up on the lower lash line. Let's take the shade called Crucifix, which is a dark brown. Right here. I'm going to take that on an angled brush. See how that does. Darkening up. Alright, I'm going to take a little bit of the black. I'm going to take this little small, really floppy brush and take a bit of Devil, which is the orange. And run that right under here. And blend that out. And kind of join up. So it all kind of flows into one thing. Cool. This does look cool. I like it. I'm having fun. Yeah, I made my husband Google about the hypothyroidism thing. I was like, can you Google this real quick? Because I was lit my camera charge up for a second. Alright, take it to that cream, matte cream that we use on the brow bone on a fluffy brush to diffuse this edge. And this used to be how I do my makeup like every day too. Get these big looks. Multiple colors going on. I still do like take the same amount of time. I think I've just toned down what I do. It's a little less competing stuff. But you know, even though the skin is like ridiculously pale, aside from that, it looks beautiful. Like I just, I might have to buy another one of these in the shade that matches me. Probably 2 shades up. Because I really quite like the way that is looking on my skin. I knew I loved that foundation, but I just forgot how much. It's kind of that perfect for combo, oily, dry, whatever skin. Like it's just solid. And with that e.l.f. concealer and the powder, something is working as far as that goes. Alright, I'm going to leave the eyes there, I think, for the time being. I'm thinking, yeah, we'll take a little bit of black eyeliner just to deepen things up a bit. So I feel like I need something in the waterline, and we'll just go with black. Let's begin digging stuff out. Marc Jacobs eyeliner. I bought this when everything was on clearance, and I have still not gotten through it. Like, will I ever use this eyeliner up? Okay, I just think that makes things look a little more finished. I think we'll take a little bit of the black eyeshadow right in here. The eyes alone for now. And let's go into this Tartist Contour palette. These colors are so pretty. The blush in here, gorgeous. And I'm going to use this to contour the face. We have a lighter tone, a darker tone, a blush, this little middle shade that's kind of slight glow to it. It was kind of useless. And 2 lighter shades, and it still has that nice vanilla smell. Anyway, let's take the deepest of the shades, and we'll start to build up a little bit of color and shape. The lighter of the 2 contours. Treat more like a bronzer. I think these look kind of muddy. Alright, fluffy brush. Clean. Same lighter shade. I'm clean that same brush off and take the blush. It's really gorgeous. Kind of, it looks cool tone in the pan, but then it kind of looks a little bit warm on the face type of color. Mauve-y, yet warmish type of shade. Those ones that I just love. Really trying to warm that skin up. Bring some color back. Oh Lord. Oh goodness. So pale. So pale. Yeah, blush color is still gorgeous. I think the contours might look a little muddy compared to some of the newer ones I have. Like, it's just not as pretty. But this blush, it's worth keeping it around just for the blush. A little better. A little bit more alive looking. I'm going to take another little brush and go into this lightest shade right here and brighten up the under eye like it needs it. But when in Rome, we're using this palette, right? Never been a fan of the banana yellowy shades ever. Still not. I'm loving the fact that like the little bit more pinky powders is a thing. They're much more flattering on me. Pretty good. Pretty good. This was a solid palette. Still love it for the blush alone. I think the bronzer could look better on me. There's something a little bit muddy about it that I think just because I've got palettes with bronzes and contours in it that I love more now. I feel that way. But back when this came out, it was awesome. And yeah, I still love the blush though. I'm going to keep it for the blush and that lightest shade in here. And I think it's probably just going to go in the archives though, because again, it's kind of special. I loved it. It was just a fun palette. And for the highlight, we'll take Tarte Pro Glow. Oh my gosh, this palette was such a favorite. I loved it so much. I mean, it's well loved. The cream in here, it was such a good cream. Such a good cream. And it is fully dried out. Oh yeah. But the little contoury shade in here, beautiful tone for pale skin. Loved it. Let's just dip a little dib dab into it. It was just that nice kind of contoury shade. Look at that. There we go. Why not? Now, actually, I'm going to grab a highlighting brush. And I'm going to go, I think, into the shade Strobe first. So this top one right here. Put a little bit down the high points. Remember correctly, these are very, very glowy. Very, very highlighty. Oh, that shade is still freaking gorgeous. I'm going to keep this out, I think, just to try to pan and use on the day-to-day, like when I'm not filming, because that is so pretty. Between that and that little contour shade, I want to make a bigger dent in this palette, okay, before I declutter it. All right, let's try a little bit of Stunner. I know Stunner is the really metallic-y one, but I think a bit of a softer application like so. Ooh, pretty. Oh, I love this palette so much. And then we have the two warmer ones, which are gorgeous too. Take a little bit of one of those and run it right here. A little glow. All right, yeah. Goodness, I love this little guy. I mean, it looks so, this material is made of, just everything clung to it. It was so hard to keep clean. Very frustrating with that. But just such a really good construction otherwise and great palette. I liked the Tarte line that they did. They still have some palettes that come out in that range, don't they? And some stuff. I don't know. Tarte's not really on my radar very often anymore. I used to love that brand so much though. And speaking of, just something that's going to be in a future makeup archives. This one, the Tarte Pro, the original. Oh, this palette. I was so in love. And I still look at this and think, gosh, that was a beautiful palette. Just, I love the colors in here. So we will dive into that again one day. Anyway, all right. So there we go. Touch up my brows really quickly. I'm going to throw on some mascara to curl my lashes. For mascara, I'm using Monsieur Big from Lancome. I remember the Lancome mascara I used to love. It was the Lancome Hypnos Drama Full Fan Effect or something to that nature. Oh, man, that one. I like these little strolling down memory lane makeup videos. It's just kind of fun. I like when other people do it. I love seeing what's in people's collections and what they miss using. Let me know down below what products like that were older ones that you loved and wish you could still get your hands on and use. Like things that were discontinued. Old limited edition sets, that kind of thing. Ones you got FOMO for. I was dreaming about putting on mascara, and the wand I had was very skinny, and you could turn it like this and go on each individual lash and it would make them look insane. That was a weird dream, but fun dream. I was dreaming that I was making a video about a mascara, apparently, or how to apply one. I don't dream about making content that often, but sometimes I do. I dream about like editing more than filming. And I definitely think you could do this eyeshadow look with a multitude of palettes and stuff. You know, it's not something you couldn't recreate, or I couldn't recreate with ColourPop palettes that are still available. So don't get too FOMO over the shade selections here. A little more orange. I feel like I lost some of it. Like my eye just ate it somehow. I'm actually going to take a little bit of stigmata on this fluffy brush. And this one, I'm just kind of having fun with this look. I'm not going anywhere, leaving the house or anything like that. So why not just have a grand old time playing and painting? Have fun with your makeup. It's your face. They got a problem with it, they can take it up with me. Which all I'm gonna do is be like, okay. You don't get much rise out of me about it. You do you. But yeah, I figured I'm just gonna use this opportunity to have a little fun. Now we're towards the end of the look. So we can finish this off with some lips. Let's take this shade. This is the Life's No Picnic. Yeah, I guess I should do a little bit of lip liner or something first. What lip liner would go with this? I'll do just a little bit of Walk of No Shame. Ooh, that's pretty. It doesn't go with the look, but it's pretty. That's actually a gorgeous shade. I'm going to keep this out to use for the holiday season, but I don't think it goes with what we have on the eyes at all. It's a little too in the pink family. I thought it was going to be a little more reddish. A little too cool tone. So I'm just going to throw a peachy lip on and call it good. Let me get this off. Let's see. We'll just grab let's use brown lip liner from e.l.f. I wonder what this will look like over the top. No, see, that's too ruby. Too ruby. Well, we keep trying. What's wrong with this? More honey from Maybelline. Wing it up just a little bit from the lower lash line. Why not get a little creative, huh? Like I said, let's just have some fun. Let's have some fun. This beat is sick. I want to take a ride on it just so sick. Little finishing touch we needed. Like there was something missing. I'm just going to take this highlighter brush, very lightly, dip into a touch of stigmata. I know, I'm getting weird. Getting weird with it. But sometimes that's fun. Okay, I'm going to stop. I'm having fun painting. I'm painting. I'm patting a little bit of stigmata onto the lips. Cool. That actually looks beautiful. Oh. But if you don't experiment sometimes and just sit down and do this kind of stuff, you'll never know what looks really cool and what you might like. Highly recommend. Taking some time for yourself at night every now and then and just painting and having a good time. enjoying herself. Okay, so I think this is our finished look. Digging in the makeup archives, revisiting some of my old favorites that I missed dearly. Some of them, I will admit, I missed using Saints and Sinners dearly because of this color story is just absolutely stunning and so fun to play with. The Tardis Pro Glow Palette, another one. Really did miss playing with this and the product within. This, the blush, beautiful. The matte highlighters in it, good. The bronzers, might be a little bit muddy these days. I don't know. And ABH powder, beautiful stuff. The concealer, e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, still a classic, beautiful product. Would recommend if you're on the hunt for a concealer and just want something trusty, reliable, not going to dry your under eyes out and wear a really long time. It's a great one. And same with this foundation. If you're looking for a good long wear foundation that looks like skin, creamy, beautiful finish. The L'Oreal Fresh Wear, still absolutely beautiful. And I'm glad I reused them to test them out again to see and kind of remind myself how good those products were, because I hadn't used them in so long. I kind of just forgot what they were like. And yeah, I still love them. I still think they're beautiful. We'll definitely be most likely picking this up in my shade. And it's also just a weird little thing to realize that I'm not as pale as I used to be. And things look different on me now. So yeah, anyway, that's all for today. Thanks for hanging out with me. Watch me play and paint and revisit some old stuff. Let me know again. Let me know down below. What are some makeup products that you miss playing with and loved, discontinued stuff, limited edition? Let me know down below. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.